The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah. No need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
I hope y'all hear me, because I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
That intro hit a skip. That's what happened, dogs.
I noticed the fucking skibbity hip hop that we don't need up in this piece. But anyway, you know I am. You know what this is. You know how we do. This your boy the Mayor. That DJ named Ace 5. Your mom's favorite fat guy, all the way from fucking cold, deepest, darkest Africa. And we're back with the newest episode of the Start at 5. Sorry we couldn't get to y'all last week, but life be life and niggas. So it is what it is. But as always, when I say it is what it is, it be in your best interest to take your asses to our great sponsor, hooksrub.com, 20% off your order using that code START5, and to our newest affiliate, Dubby, 10% off your order over there using the same code starting 5. What up, Lisper?
What's up? I lost track of my days this week because I kind of mapped my days out to go to work on Monday, Tuesday, and then, because of the holiday, didn't have to go to work on Monday, and did not realize that Tuesday was Tuesday, and my week just zoomed by, and I'm like, holy shit, it caught up to me real fast.
I felt the same way, dude.
But it's cool, and I'm ready to get back at it. I was going to say I was looking forward to the NBA Finals, but it's kind of like lackluster. It don't have no sting to it. I don't know, man. But I'm gonna watch it and we'll see what happens.
Got no seasoning, TJ. These finals got no seasoning.
None. Trash. But it's all good. Listen, nobody gave our boys a chance to even be in the ECF this year. So that's a huge step for us. And we got this core group together for at least another 3 to 4 years. So I expect to see some consistency out of this. Back-to-back 50-win seasons. I'm not mad at all. What's up, y'all? The week was short because what was it? Memorial Day on Monday? Yeah. So starting from the time I took vacation in the last week of April, I haven't worked a full week since. And this week is another short week because I'm out to Vegas on Thursday. I'll try to make the Sunday show, but I highly doubt. I don't know how much time I'm going to be on the clock. But yeah, I'm feeling sore as shit. I won 8 games in a row today playing ball. Your boy was cooking. At 52, running out there with them 30-year-olds, late 20s, a couple guys in their 40s. Yeah. So barbecue out there today.
I always meant to ask you this question. I never got around to asking it right. So when you play basketball, give me an NBA player that you equate yourself to so I can get an idea of what you mean by cooking. Is you like okay. That 13 points, 10 assists like CP3 cooking?
Nah. I'm a small forward. I'm in a post guy. So like who would I model?
You live in the words to a T. God damn.
I mean,
like a little guy playing small forward.
Yeah, I'm always guarding, and believe it or not, because of my weight and my size, I'm always guarding the biggest dude half the time on defense because I'm the only one that can keep pushing him out the paint, which is crazy.
I used to be 5'11" and always had to play center because I was taller than everybody else.
Yeah. So I played a 3 out of 4 in my basketball league. I played a 3 out of 4. I'm a wing player. I can hit a spot up 3. My mid range was stupid up until like 2 years ago. And then, I can drive to the basket. But as far as who's a solid 3? Maybe like deadlift shrimp. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man,
you had to go way back.
The OKC in the finals, and they put Caruso on Joker. So whatever works.
Whatever works. Yeah, I mean. There was my brother will tell this story because it was fucking legendary a few years back when we was playing in the league. And this guy was 6'2" or 6'3", definitely 280 or better, and he was cooking our entire squad. And it's like, yo, T, you gotta guard him. So when I tell you I put all my man strength into guarding this dude, bro, all my man strength to guarding this dude, he scored no buckets on me, and he was tight. I mean, you remember that Along Came Polly and Jack Black gets smeared across his face? Yeah, that was me, bro, on defense because I couldn't do anything, but he couldn't move me. And he was tight because he was getting buckets crazy. And I was like, yo, after the 4th time he came down and just like took all my inner strength, I was like, yo, I got to sub. They was like, nah, nigga, you in there for the rest of the game until
he said, shoot out your slump. You better shoot out your slump.
So yeah, but I was hitting buckets. I was getting buckets today. Made a nice reverse layup off a cut. Yeah. And I feel good because I lost about 8 pounds. I'm under 220 now. So I feel my wind getting better. And my stamina is up a little bit. So I'm really liking that. Like, I mean, I still get super tired, and I wish my stamina was where it used to be, but shit, after 50, boy, if you don't stay active, that shit it's trash, bro. It's hard to come back. It's hard to come back. Once you stop something, it's hard to come back. But if you try to do it, just do it. Don't quit. Like, get yourself back up to something serviceable.
How long have I been saying that stopping playing football back in 2012 has been the downfall? And at 45 all week, y'all said short week. I was on vacation. This was my first vacation I was able to take this year.
That's right. Week. You were on vacation, yeah.
And I barely. No, actually, I can't say I barely did a motherfucking thing. I had to damn flip around the whole apartment because we had to adjust the kids' rooms and all that. Had to have my oldest just have her own room because of college and stuff like that. All that. So I was doing a lot of that little stuff. Man, listen, my knees was not kneeing no more. My back is my back. But you keep talking about it every week. It's like now I want to play. Like now we need to get like an HHDG like 3-on-3, and
let's go.
I'll run with you and I'll run against you just to see what you're talking about. For real. Because every time you mention it, I'm mad that my basketball hoop in the backyard, the backboard is destroyed.
Right.
Like at the wind whipping one time, and you seen where I live. And you seen where I live. I'm a block off the water. So when the wind off the water is that shit just the whole fucking plexiglass. It's hanging on the rim broken. I just haven't went back there to take it off.
Yeah. You know what, Dan? And Blisper should be able to
make a wood one or some shit.
If you want, and I've been trying to find a place, but I get home too late to join a boxing gym, dogs. Just the workout
I
alone.
need to.
The
I've
workout
been,
alone will have you dropping weight dumb fast, bro.
dude.
That'll
I've
get your
been
stamina
itching to
up.
do that. I've been itching to do that, but I just don't get up off my ass ever since I was working. Remember when I was working in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
In the garage, not the Brooklyn garage when I got promoted, but back in the day as a sanitation worker, I was working in South Brooklyn, and the guys who started the DSNY boxing club came out. They were setting it up while I was at that garage,
Ah, man,
but
you should have jumped on that, man.
because I happened to get home to get my daughters because they were
Oh,
younger
okay.
then,
Yeah,
it was in the way. It was in the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Here's the
But
thing
I
about
do, like I say, shout out to my people watching right now. I say it all the time. At 45, I still want to go to a wrestling school. That'll put my ass into some, and I want to go to a wrestling school to respectfully learn how to take the bumps, but be a manager. Because on at 45 and just starting, I know there's people who just start to just do like independent stuff at a late age, but I don't. I would rather do management than try to be in that ring on some
Yeah, you're
every
crazy
weekend
trying to do
basis.
that shit, bro. That's insane.
the boxing. The thing about the boxing gym is, I went to the I went to that. I was doing that union fights for 2 years in a row, and
Yeah.
I didn't actually get a fight because I'm too old, and nobody over 40 wanted to get in the ring with your boy, so that was that. But to actually
The
go to the
last one though, well, you said, oh, hold on, because you had somebody lined up last year,
yeah, and he quit.
but then that fight fell through.
3 pounds, bro. He didn't sign the waiver for 3 pounds. He ain't. I was too big, 3 pounds overweight, and he didn't want to sign the waiver. But here's the thing, though: going to the boxing gym, it's cool if you go in there and you just trying to like fuck around and you're trying to like get your
You're
weight
trying to
down.
work out.
Workouts is cool, but the actual training, like I had to really actually train because I was preparing for an actual maybe possibly getting in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that shit. That shit is terrible. I don't never want to do that shit again ever in my life. Now, if you go to the gym and you fucking around, they'll teach you a few things, hit the bag, whatever. But the actual training, like training for a fight, I do not recommend that anybody over 40.
And you in Philly where like boxing is like
That's
a
the home of
national
boxing.
pastime down there.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't, listen, man. You go home every day wanting to throw up. Like, it's not nice, bro. It's not nice at all.
Yo, how quickly did you lose weight, Lisper, in like the first 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, you lose weight immediately, dude. I lost like 5 pounds in the first week. But the problem is, once you plateau, you kind of plateau, though.
Right.
You can lose 10 pounds real quick, and then it's like, now you're trying to struggle.
TJ, TJ, you know though from coaching, your coaches would say if you didn't throw up, you didn't try hard.
Right.
Or you didn't work hard.
When I used to wrestle in high school and we had to make weight, we had to do all kind of crazy shit. We was walking around the gym balcony in trash bags just to get down 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds for the whole lunch period. You know what I'm saying?
That's like that movie. That movie, oh man, Foxcatcher.
Oh my God. Foxcatcher was crazy. But look, you wrestle in high school, right? You wrestle in college, whatever, you do what you do. But at 45, throwing up is like, for who? For what?
Right. Nah, that's
Why
word.
am I doing this to myself?
That's word. But I'm gonna still challenge myself. What up, O?
What up, fellas? What's going on, man? I've been out of it since last night, man. So I know what I'm saying. Y'all gotta bear with me today.
We did it to ourselves last night. Oh,
yeah.
did it to ourselves last night, man.
Yeah.
That in game one, man. That game one.
Let's stay right there, y'all. Let's stay right there. Rest easy to our New York Knickerbockers. I messed up in pre-show, typed my name second round, but I forgot. We made it. Tyrone reminded me we made it one step further because I was in a bit of a haze, forgetting where we was at. But yeah, like I said, man, I'm gonna leave most of this to y'all because as I told y'all, I didn't want to be the jinx. But I did tune in to several games. And every time I watched, even in some of our wins, We just looked sloppy. That was the one ultimate takeaway that I could make out of this whole Eastern Conference Finals run was just sloppy ass play. Like yesterday's
Absolutely.
game, I tuned in. I think it was the fourth quarter. I forgot what the score was. And when I seen Brunson come down and he tried to force up a shot, a 3 point, a three, with somebody damn near face palming him, and he tried to force up a three. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I could turn this back off. This shit. If you're up to this and you're down as far as you are, you were trying to draw a foul. I seen that. But I also, while paying attention to the series, I also noticed that the refs weren't really giving up them fouls to y'all like that. So to try to pull up for three to try to get the foul shot with the 3-0, like that capped the story for me. I'm just sloppy.
You know, us dropping that game one, it really set us behind, man, the whole damn series, yo. Like, even last night, there was a lot of sloppy plays, sloppy moves by us. Cat really didn't get off like he wanted
Yo,
to.
don't get me started with that
Um,
dude on defense, dude,
yeah,
because
he was
that
he
was
was
the
horrible on
worst
defense,
shit
man.
I've ever seen in my life, man. That
Yeah,
defense was pathetic, dogs. And you can see, I saw OG yell at him. I saw Mitch yell at him. Step up, get up, get up. He can shoot that. Because Mitch is behind him saying, I got it. Like, let him drive to the back.
yeah.
Two is better than giving
Oh,
up a
oh, oh! You
three.
talking about that open? What was it? Tyrese. I know Tyrese had one, and TJ McConnell had one.
Dude,
Yeah, it was just
dude.
he refused to step up to the 3-point line for some reason. That and his bullshit fouls that he would do that would cost us later on. Like he would get 2 fouls quick in the first quarter doing
Well,
dumb shit. Like you gotta be smarter than that. Like
well, yeah, I saw the one. I'm not invested as much as you guys are, but the one play I couldn't believe the Halliburton three.
Yeah,
where he caught the ball and Cat was like right there, and Halliburton stopped and wasn't going to shoot it because he thought Cat was going to challenge him, and then he basically like looked at him was like, "Oh, you ain't coming." And then he
yeah.
took the shot. And I'm like, Cat stood there for a few seconds, didn't even like try to go towards him. Like, dude, he's wide open. Why are you not going over there? And even Halliburton thought he was coming because he didn't shoot it right away. He got the ball and he kind of paused because he thought Cat was coming.
and
And
that would have been fine because that would have been more time off the clock. He would have had to force up a shitty shot.
Right.
But Cat never even took a step, bro. Like, was just like, go ahead and shoot it. Like, yo.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is he doing, man?
Yeah. That was tough, man. And now, we're getting the finals that absolutely nobody wanted, man. And that's the shit that pisses me off the most. I'm sorry, man. This is the finals that nobody fucking asked for at the beginning of the season, man.
So,
God damn.
so you're not happy about the one of these small
Absolutely
markets
not. Both of
Well,
gonna
them?
get a
well,
championship?
let's hold on before we move so fast over there though. Like, just a recap on this next season, next playoffs and stuff. Like, for me,
Go ahead.
like we were talking but pre-show, TJ. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because, as we said on this show week in and week out, this was the progression that we wanted to see. So now, if you want to set expectations, okay, we got expectations to next year with this core. We should make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. We hope. You would hope that. We seen a lot of stuff where they need fixing. I think maybe a piece adjustment. If we could get another primetime scorer or primetime defender, then that would be a lot better off for us. I think more scoring than defending, even though we need somebody who can do both.
We need a
But
reliable 6-man.
right, right. But this is for me as a Knick fan. This was what I wanted to see. I wanted to see us take it to that next level, to where Indiana, yeah, We seen it last year. We seen the same progression with them this year. It doesn't feel like it'll last the same like it will with us.
Well, here's what I was saving for TJ and Jamal, mostly because y'all was saying y'all was content with me. I don't like y'all being content with mediocrity and all that. But y'all was saying that y'all don't care about championships. Y'all want to continue progression, right? But now there's no progression. You can't. There's no progression now. It's championship or bust now for the Knicks, is it not? Because y'all said progression.
Yes.
You can't progress. So now y'all got to the Eastern Conference Finals. So next season there's no progression. It's championship or bust next year.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that because
I don't agree with that at
What's
all.
the progression then? You can't go no further than you already went. Y'all need to go to game 7. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what.
Remember, we upset Boston. You know what I'm saying? We were not supposed to beat Boston. So you have to take that in consideration. And it went 6 games.
I'm taking that in consideration, but I'm also taking consideration to the fact that Boston ain't probably, with the Tatum injury, Boston probably ain't gonna be a problem next year.
Nope.
So you ain't gonna have to deal with that.
It's even scarier because let's say worst case scenario, Boston becomes.
They'll still make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, they may, but let's say worst case scenario, they drop into the lottery. Could you imagine that? That's gonna be like fucking 1985 Celtics again.
No, dogs.
Nah, I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I don't see that.
And
no, when I mean by 1985 Celtics, I'm talking about Larry Bird, Larry McHale, and Parrish, and them picking up Len Bias. That's what I'm talking about.
So you're saying, rest in peace, Len Bias, because I was about to say something crazy, but that no, we're not seeing another Len Bias. No.
Boston's
and
not.
And even to your point, no.
Boston is still a good team without Tatum. They're not dropping to the lottery, bro. I see them probably coming in
5th or 6th seed, bro. Yeah, they're definitely.
But I don't see them being that formidable because I'm thinking, even if Tatum gets back for the playoffs, there's no way my man's going to be right. So I don't think Boston's going to do any damage in the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to be in that.
Well, Boston this year has to figure out their roster because they're about to hit the luxury tax, and that shit is bananas money.
And Brown has an MCL tear, a partial tear. So we don't even know if he's
they got to break up that roster or have these dudes come back for much, much, much less. And I don't see that happening.
So who's the guy?
They got to really scout now.
Who's the guy though? Who's the guy?
Brown. It's not Porzingis.
Well, no, I'm saying this. If Boston, if Jaylen Brown, whatever he got going on with his injuries, if he's all right enough to start next season, right? And he gets them maybe to the 4th seed. Let's say Boston ends up 4th, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's a real decision you got to make between Tatum and Brown at that point, though, ain't it?
No.
So Tatum's the man.
Tatum's still a man because he got a chip. He played his way.
Jaylen Brown, but Brown was there he was the MVP of said chip.
Yeah, so but here's the funny thing though. The only reason this is my thing. The only reason why Brown got the MVP is because if you watch the series, it looked like his game elevated and it looked like Tatum's game took a step back. But if you really look at the stats statistically, Tatum had a better finals than Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
It just looked different because it looked like Jaylen was stuffing up and it looked like Tatum was kind of falling back.
Well, Brown hit a lot of big shots. That's why it looked like that.
And
Brown
Tatum
hit clutch ass shots.
And Tatum wasn't playing at the level that we expected, but Tatum actually played better, actually had better stat lines than Jaylen Brown. It just didn't look good. So it's like, yeah, you got the MVP, but Tatum was still the best player in the finals. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Okay,
Yeah,
enough Boston fluffing. TJ
yeah,
and O.
I hate
The
Boston.
recap, the
yeah.
recap, the
So
recap of our Knicks season, please.
yeah, so I knew we was going to get to the playoffs. I didn't know where we would finish at, but we was a top 3 seed again. I was very happy with that. Another 50-win season. Um, the Knicks just have a habit of making people catch heart attacks when the playoffs start. That Boston series was rough. We could have lost 2 of those games easily if the ball bounced a different way. But it brought out a craziness in them to match up with Boston and steal 2 games and literally steal 2 games in Boston. And that right there, I thought was going to make the season special after that, because I don't see Indiana as talented as the Celtics are. I think the Celtics are way more talented than Indiana. And that's why I was saying that we have a better shot, because just look how we played Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do have a shot. Even with the defensive lapses that we have, I thought we had enough offense. Plus, Mitch Robinson's the MVP of the entire players. He's playing out of his mind, bro. Out of his mind.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane what he's doing on the offensive glass. It's crazy. But, you know, I'm mad in how we lost, because we should have won at least we should have had game 1 in the bag. We had game 1 in the bag, and we just didn't continue to step on their neck. And that game 1 just came back to bite us in the ass in the whole series. You know what I'm saying? You gave these dudes wild confidence after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree totally with what you're saying, man. If it was Boston and Indiana, it would have been the same as last year, And so I think I heard someone say that we designed our roster to beat Boston, but that was it. Like we came across Indiana and we didn't know what the hell to do, you know. Um, yeah, but nah, I'm happy with how everything went down in the regular season. I mean, no one saw Cleveland doing what they did, So I instantly thought we were gonna be another a 2 seed again. Um, yeah. Uh, you know, us beating Detroit, it was 50-50 as far as the pundits. Every other announcer was picking Detroit, and that was a tough series for us. And then Boston, I think, was physically and mentally tough for us. So by the time we got to Indiana, and how they play ball, and Rick Carlisle being a Hall of Fame coach, and their style of play with the West Coast style, up and down, looking like 1985 Lakers and Denver Nuggets. We just couldn't keep up, man. And I think we did a damn good job trying to keep up, but yeah, man, it was too much for us at the end.
But
So I'm happy.
it's not like they didn't see the tapes. Like, they go back and watch film. They know what's going. It's right there. 3
Yeah,
games in a row. It's like right there. This is what mistakes we keep making.
right. But having
That's just
having said that,
execution, man.
having said that, if you watch, you watch the game just like I did, them dudes was tired.
Yeah,
Mitch was tired. OG was tired.
and,
You know, so I mean, it's the pace had a lot to do with it.
So
yeah,
you know what? Tim should have subbed that guys out quicker. Get him under a quicker rotation
and
to keep
I was
everybody
surprised. I was
fresh.
surprised I was surprised Shamit, and Wright got as much time as they did.
yo,
Because
yeah,
they're bigger
Even
players
though
and they
even though
can
Wright
play
was
defense
completely ineffective.
and,
on offense. He was good on defense.
At certain times though, that pace was ridiculous. I mean, I saw the Pacers going a fast break off for Knicks made baskets, and I'm like, who the fuck does that? Like, how are they fast
Dude,
breaking off for
they
made
were playing.
baskets?
They
I'm
were
like,
still playing full court defense with 3 minutes left in last night's game on the
Yeah,
Knicks.
but,
So yeah, we were done. we were done.
what is
They had no answers.
um?
yeah.
So, what is your assessment of Cat? Because, in my opinion, Cat was the reason why y'all lost. Because the way Cat was abusing the Pacers, I thought last night my man was going to drop 50. In the first quarter, I said Cat's gonna drop 50 tonight because they couldn't. He was
I'll
getting
say
in the shot.
this.
They couldn't stop him. And then I don't know if he ran out of gas or what happened, but Cat should have been able to destroy the Pacers the way they couldn't. Nobody could stop him, and he just
Siakam,
I'll
couldn't.
say this to I'll
Siakam was
say
always
this
big
to the I'll say this to the you answering your own question first. I think Cat, I like that he's here. I like that he's here. I like that we got him. But to me, it shows how much he did need Rudy Gobert next to him on the court at times.
That was Mitch Robinson.
Probably
Yeah.
we need to see that more. But
Yes.
somebody like Rudy Gobert defensively, I think, is way more of a threat than a Mitchell Robinson. Cat can score better when he doesn't have to be the focal point for defense. If they could build that kind of reputation with him and Mitch Robinson and what's his name, Bridges, like, then maybe we'll be way better off. But we just
Why can't Cat learn to step up on the
consistency.
screen? Why can't he just step up on a pick and roll?
Well,
Why?
that-
Just step up.
Because he saw Rudy Gobert versus Luka Doncic last year. That's why.
But that's my point, though. If Mitch was playing the way he was playing, and Cat was kind of like taking breaks on defense. So at the offensive end, they wanted to slow the pace down. Cat can get in the box. They wanted to play at a slower pace. Nobody could guard him. So I didn't understand why they weren't just like, they should have just been feeding Cat
The
the ball
offense should
down
have
low
ran
the
through
whole
him.
game.
The offense should have ran through him for sure.
Right.
The offense should have ran through him because he was commanding double teams. Brunson could be open. OG, somebody's going to be open for a corner three, and we're pretty good at doing that. But you know that's coaching.
So adjustment. So yeah, so adjustments from the players, or for recognizing that. Then
Well, Cat has to have that leadership quality to say, "Hey, man, I'm dominating down low. Give me the fucking ball." Like,
Yes.
You know what this series showed me though? We need both of them on the floor, right? Because Mitch is as valuable on defense as Cat is as valuable on offense. That's the end of the story. Like Mitch is not going to give you much offense except for offensive rebounding. Which the first half he was killing it. I really thought we had a shot
But
just off of that. You know,
why don't they run a pick and roll with Mitch and Cat? And Mitch is rolling to the basket, and then Cat can either step back for a three or follow Mitch right behind him to go for a layup. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just sounds like too easy for me.
yeah, that's something they can implement. It's something they can implement.
Or they could be all in for Giannis, because that's what I would do.
I'll take it.
Who's you giving up for Giannis?
Everybody.
Then
we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
We right back where we started 2 years ago.
But we talked about that 2 weeks ago though. Now we could get into this lackluster finals. Now we could talk about this NBA finals with no fucking seasoning for once. No, like nobody wants this redneck clan state Indiana to win shit. Nobody wants this redneck Oklahoma clan state to win. Like, we don't want this shit. Now, my pick is Oklahoma City because they have a former Knick on their roster right now in Hartenstein. I'll give it up for that and let the MVP cap off his MVP season.
Yeah.
But reality is, this man,
Wait,
this ain't a finals to watch. Oh, this ain't
Yeah, no, nobody was rooting for this finals, man. It's, and I really hope that it gets the ratings it deserves. I really hope it gets the rating it deserves, man. Because I don't know who NBA need to hire somebody from WWE to write a better script because this shit is fucking horrible, man.
No, wait a minute.
Freddie Prinze Jr., where you at?
The league MVP and the person that they're talking about being the future of the NBA, and the person that they're talking about that could possibly be the face of the league right now, is playing in the NBA Finals, and nobody cares. Like that's a
Tyrone.
good thing.
I think him.
Tyrone.
That's the
What
guy.
Tyrone? What did we say? What did we say last week or 2 weeks ago about the rivalry? It's the uniforms.
Nah, man. Nobody gives a
It's the
fuck about
uniforms.
flyover states. These are flyover
That's it.
states.
It's the
Nobody's
uniforms.
going there
It's
for
the flyovers.
vacation.
So
Nobody's going there to go visit. You barely go to visit family if you got them there. Not come see me. You know what I'm saying? It's more
Except
fun here.
shouts out to our homegirl Nicole Porter. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
home team got it. Yeah, exactly, TJ. But
but
yeah, your home team got it. I'm glad at least one of my friends is happy. You know what I'm saying?
But Dan, you was wrong. There's two Knicks in the former Knicks in the finals. Obi Toppin is
Oh yeah,
on.
Obi. That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
here's the thing: if all no matter what four teams made it to the finals, there was going to be a former Knick in it.
wait. So but the face of the league is not good enough because he's in OKC to want y'all to watch the finals. Like Shea's not good enough
No,
to watch the finals, bro.
no. Shay is great. It ain't worth it. Oklahoma City
And
again.
he ain't the face of the league.
Oklahoma City versus Indiana
Yeah.
is not worth it watching.
Then we gotta stop that with this guy being the future of the NBA and the face of the league because he's not. He's not because the face of the
The
league.
question to you: when have we celebrated him all season? Us here on the Starting Five
No,
podcast.
no,
Because don't say we. You can talk
Never.
everybody else. Who cares about everybody else? We here have never celebrated them. Neither of these teams once yet. So I don't give a fuck who's
no.
on that court up
Furthermore,
there.
furthermore, right?
Michael Jordan could be in a fucking Oklahoma City Thunder
No.
jersey right now. I don't care.
My point is
Furthermore,
not us. My point is not us celebrating, but I'm just saying we watch the NBA. We're basketball fans. We're avid fans, and so for me, it's like if he's the face of the league, as basketball fans, we still want to see the face of the league in the NBA Finals. So to me
so
now, it's
so
I
not.
can I ask a
I
question?
understand. Go ahead. I hold on. Oh, because I'm gonna throw it to you, but I understand what you're saying. As fans, yes, but this shit would go the same if it was football. If this was the Dallas Cowboys versus fucking Buffalo Bills all over again, I mean, I'm watching because it's football is different for me, but I watch because it's Buffalo. If it's Dallas Cowboys versus fucking some other scrub ass team like say the Jacksonville
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars, I
Yeah.
I I I'm interested because it's football, but I'm not interested. I don't care if you got the greatest whatever. But go ahead, oh.
We keep using this term like face of the league, right? What constitutes the face of the league? Is it the best player? Is it like reigning MVP? Is it someone that's in the MVP talks every year, or is it the most recognizable face in basketball? Because that's two different things. You know what I'm saying? The face of the league
Absolutely.
is still would still be somebody like Steph or LeBron or KD. I don't know if I consider Shea to be the face of the league just yet. He's not a household name.
We can say he's the best player in the league.
Yo,
Face of the league is still LeBron James.
Right.
Hate
yo,
it or hate it. Go ahead.
yo. Who in the group posted that shit that Rachel the chick that got banned from
Rachel Nichols.
Rachel Nichols. I think I did.
Rachel Nichols. Yeah, and she was cooking. She was like, I've been in the NBA for years, and after Jordan, it took mad long to find the face of the league. You still had Reggie Miller. You still had you had mad talent. Charles. You still had Chris Webber. You
Charles,
had
yeah.
Garnett. You had Marbury. You know,
Shaq, Kobe,
yeah,
all of
you
them.
had
Like
Wow. And Kobe wasn't the face of the league to damn near the end of his career, like the last half of his career. So, like, Steph and LeBron is who your grandparents know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
That's the face. That's what it takes to be the face of the league. Like you're out there, and you're on
Transcending outside the sport a little bit.
Correct.
right, right,
Transcending a
right,
little bit outside the sport.
right, right. For just the casual fan to know who you are. So the face of the league might not happen yet. You still got Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? And that's trending
Well,
towards him.
they're working on. I mean, they're working on Ant-Man right now.
Right.
They're
Oh,
working on him.
oh,
They're working on him.
ain't no way.
Hold on, Tyrone, because if you didn't see, I set you up. I set you up for something you brought up. But they are working. They are working on Ant-Man right now. Now, despite the only nigga in my adult history who cashed out on child support early, which is wild business. That shit is wild. But I mean, other than that, like they're working on him to be that guy, Tyrone. But you have a point you want to bring up about it.
Um, I like Ant-Man on the court, but Ant-Man can't be the face of the league when he literally said without saying, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, you're not looking at what came before you, because he's sitting there going, I wanted to win for Mike Conley because he's old and he's on his way out, but I'm young and I'm so talented with my young age that I'm always gonna be here. I'm always gonna get back. I'm not worried about championships. You know what I mean? Basically saying like he basically was like, I'm not sad, I don't care. I'm going to be back here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure young Patrick Ewing thought that. Pretty sure Charles Barkley thought that. You know what I mean? Like Karl Malone, like you're not looking at guys that put in all of that time and all that hard work. You're not looking at guys like Carmelo Anthony. You know what I mean? Like there's guys that never got to that mountaintop, bro. So for you to just be like, oh, we lost, I ain't worried about it, I'll be back. It's like, no, you might not be back, man.
Not just regular guys, legends, Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Famers. Got
You
to
know, and
stop.
for you to be the so-called face of the league, right? It's gonna take a lot, especially you coming from a small market. Like LeBron, that's why LeBron doing what he did for so many years is extremely impressive, man. Like you went to Cleveland. I mean, you know you got drafted by Cleveland, which is the small market, and you know 15 years later, you know, people still talking about you in the top 5, top 10. You know, and you're the most recognized. You're the Snoop. You're the Snoop of the NBA. You're the most recognizable face of the NBA. You know,
Yeah,
and I
he's
don't
been in
know if
movies.
Shea Alexander, for one, he does not have that personality. You know, he's a quiet dude or whatever. Ant-Man is more you know, out
Outspoken.
there with it. So
And what did it from Ant-Man in the comments you said he's talking like as a competitor though, like I'm obviously we all haven't made it to that level. But some of us have went off in them in competition to where I understand, like personally me, I understand having a thought pattern like that like, you know what, okay, we lost, I'm good with it because I know that there's more in my future. That's one, speaking highly and confidently of yourself. And then number two, he's young enough on a roster right now that could currently do it again and should be able to go further next year. And it's just, to me, it don't hurt to have that level of confidence. I think today's new media, sports media, social media, everything combined, like we didn't hear these athletes of our generation talk like that. But for damn sure, those motherfuckers spoke like that.
you know,
We could all probably but guarantee that Michael Jordan was definitely talking that shit his first, what was it, 6 to 9 years in the league
yeah,
before.
Absolutely.
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
You know,
So
you
it's
Absolutely.
know,
just one of
they,
those things that Ant-Man hasn't panned out yet because we are in that microwave society of you got to do this shit. You're the big name now. You got to do this now, and we're in such a quicker what have you done for me lately time
Right.
than the past. Like talk that shit, Ant-Man,
Listen,
because
listen.
I know he's gonna be back. I
Also,
know he's gonna be
I
back.
hear what you're
I
also,
saying,
have
right?
no problem. I have no
also,
problem with him talking
oh,
like that.
I
oh,
hear what you're saying, right? Hold on, I'm sorry,
good.
TJ. Yo, I think about when you say that, oh, I know he's gonna be back. I think about Dan Marino. Dan Marino made it to the Super Bowl the second year and never sniffed it again. So it's not a
But at least still made you again. You got to get in the hunt to even get there. So that to me, even still making the playoffs is an accomplishment. If you make the playoffs your whole career, but never sniff, we know how hard it is to sniff a championship.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you can make the playoffs your whole career, and you're still there, putting yourself and your team in contention each and every season.
But you see, that's why the casual fan, it's like, I get annoyed at the casual fan when they talk about people like Charles and Patrick and, oh, these guys, and Karl Malone,
Bro,
oh, they never got a ring.
you
Yo, this
can't
shit is
talk to a
hard as hell.
casual fan. You just killed yourself by saying you talk to a casual fan, bro. Why you getting upset with a casual, dog? He's a
Right.
casual fan. He don't know shit. Come on, man. You just wasting words right there, B. Stop it. But I was saying, look how long it took Steph Curry to get up there, right? His first few years, he had ankle injuries, and you know the 3-point shot that he was shooting with Golden State was still frowned upon at that time. Nobody was really feeling it until they started getting their shit together with the Splash Brothers, and Mark Jackson really turned that team around and had them playing defense and shit like that. But Steph Curry didn't become the face of the league. Exactly. Exactly.
my
What I'm
Shout
bad.
out
saying,
to the homie Seuss. What up, kid?
Steph took like 6-7 years before he could get that status and a few all-star games. You know what I'm saying? And he started putting up video game numbers, 48, 50. Now people are recognizing his handle. They also see he don't have to shoot the three every night because he can drive to the basket too. It's like, and Golden State, it wasn't a big market team at that time anyway. They was in the trash. In the trash.
He brought the people to the yard. He was the milkshake that brought
My
Yep.
the boys to the yard.
So let me
my
let me so let me ask you a question.
my
I'm
thought
sorry, Tony.
process. But my
Real quick.
thought process. Oh, go
So
ahead.
so you think Steph, Clay, and Dre made it from a small market team to a bigger market team? Is that possible? Or
Yes.
once a
There's
small
no
market,
fake,
Yes.
always a small
Yes.
market?
but there's no
No,
fake.
no, no,
That's
no,
what they
no. They're
did.
a huge
That's what they
money
did.
organization right now. They got bread, bro. They
But
Mm.
got serious bread over there. They built new
but
facilities for them after they won a third championship or whatever. Yo,
Right.
and then that most
The point
state
is they did
was
it.
I,
Yeah.
right. And they
I
have
was
one of the most
saying
state of the art gyms in the country, probably the world.
I
Them
was
dudes is
saying
good.
um I was saying more on the level of, yeah, you like that Braxton. Yeah, you're supposed to have that attitude. Like I said, I'm sure Charles Barkley thought the same thing. I'm sure Patrick Ewing thought that. I'm sure that anybody who's a superstar at a young age thinks like, I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna get some championships. I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get, right? But it's like, read the room though. You can't lose in the Western Conference Finals, in which you came up small. Because let's be honest, Ant-Man had some bad games. You came up small. They're pushing you to be the face of the league. You lose in the conference finals, and you go right to the press conference with an I don't care attitude in this day and age. That's bad. That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look.
Your words right there, though, is what I explained before. This day and age, because we have such instant and immediate access to people's opinions and stuff like that, and thought patterns, and everybody has an opinion on how somebody else thinks.
Right.
We have these conversations. TJ and I definitely have had these conversations for the past decade plus that we've known each other in these groups where people think like you're supposed to use the brain cells that they used to develop your thought.
But I'm just
These
saying,
niggas out here talk. They talk like we're supposed to think like the next person, and that's where everybody's problem is. Sorry, we can't. Though we are people who try to, get people to think outside of the box in some sort of a way. We're going to look at, some people are going to instantly think, nah, man, you can't be talking that shit like that. You just lost. No. As a fucking competitor, yeah, I knew where I fell. I knew where I fucked up, but I'ma be back.
It's,
That's it. And to be honest with you, if you are a team owner out there, GM, whatever, and don't have a bunch of people who think like dogs like that, redo your whole fucking squad
hey,
and get people that are ready to be on that. I'm ready to pop my shit because
Killers.
I know
You
I'm
want
better than
straight
this.
killers.
yeah, but thinking
Right.
in the
You
same,
want people who are, I know I'm better than this.
thinking in the
Fuck
same
that.
is
Talk
two
your
different
shit.
things, though. I think
Say
he's
that shit.
supposed to think it, but I don't think he should have said it because now he's opened himself up to the scrutiny that he's getting for saying it. You look
Right.
like you don't care. You look like you don't give a fuck. You look like you're taking your career for granted, and you look like you're not reading the room because you're playing in Minnesota for the Timberwolves, right? And Shea Gilgeous Alexander and Oklahoma City just beat you, and they looking like maybe they're talking about them might be in a dynasty, right? You still got Steph doing what he's doing, and we don't know. Golden State still might have a chance at it. You still got LeBron on the Lakers, in which and Luka Doncic is on the Lakers, in which the Lakers don't stay down long. You still got Jokic, one of the most productive guys in the league in Denver in the West, and then you still got San Antonio, and San Antonio with
The
Wembanyama
West is
and the
stacked.
second
The
pick.
West is always stacked, though.
That's what I'm
Stop.
saying. So
Pause.
Ant-Man, you might it's stacked against you as far as getting to the finals, bro. It really is. You're
And once again, because I'm gonna show Curtis's comment once again. He also said no one is going to work harder than me this summer.
oh
That
no
is the
doubt.
mentality. With every fucking name you just dropped, that's the mentality you want to have because it shouldn't matter what other teams have. It don't matter what you're. I brought Michael Jordan up before, but did it matter to fucking Michael fucking Jordan? Did it matter to him that the Knicks had a Patrick Ewing? Did it matter to him that the Rockets had an Elijah Wan? This
No,
team had Shaq. That team had fucking Sean Kemp. It didn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You
Also,
go quest to be the best all the time.
also, you got to think these cats made the NBA. All right, the NB fucking A. That means they dominated where they were at before they got to the NBA. So they're gonna talk that shit because they've earned to talk that shit. They made it in the
Word.
best league in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like you got these guys. You know, some of them are one and done, some of them are not. But you know, they dominated when they were at their schools. They was a contributing member to winning shit at their schools. If somebody took their school to the fucking NCAAs and they never got there before you, that means you're the fucking man, dogs. Like you're doing
Right.
shit that hasn't been done or hasn't been done in years, decades even. So when you
So
get to the NBA, you gotta want to say, if you're a young Patrick, you gotta say, I want Hakeem because that's gonna show me who's the best because I wanna drop 30 on him and shit. Like you gotta say that, bro. You gotta say that.
so, and a side note to that part there, but Kyle said, y'all got to remember, Ant-Man is still a young cat, man. That man, rich and young. Not everyone handles that like a typical
Fact,
professional.
no,
fact.
That's facts.
no.
Like we said, this is the only man that I could think of in recent history, definitely for the 21st century, who cashed out on child support
Uh,
up front. But to what TJ said, like, see, this is the type of shit that, like, people of our generation always love to say, oh man, this new league ain't like how we grew up. This ain't like it, we don't have no killers like this. We don't have a Jordan, we don't have a Pippen, we don't have these kind of guys no more. Ant-Man is displaying that verbally in a way that we can see it at the press of a button.
You want somebody
We
because you
want
want
that. We wanted those type of players back,
yeah,
but now
yeah.
we're having a conversation. You're saying it because of the way and the time and all that stuff that he's wrong
Also,
for doing it.
no,
also,
no.
hold on, listen, hold on. Listen, also, LeBron may be the face of the league, but he's also a villain. You understand me?
Uh,
Like people legitimately hate this man. He is
uh,
also a villain. And you need that in the league because you want somebody to bring the villain down.
I
You know what I'm saying?
100% agree with everything y'all saying. I love that Ant-Man said that. I'm not saying that my man is wrong for saying it at all. That's something I would say. I would tell them the same shit. I'm gonna be back here. I ain't worried about me because I'm coming back. My man's old. My man might not come back. He might not play next year. Me, I'm gonna be here next year. I would say the same thing, but I'm saying that when the league is trying to find that face, and LeBron's going out, and they're pushing it to you. And I'm saying all of the things that I'm saying about how the West is stacked and all of that stuff is what is the scrutiny that he's going to come from him. So I'm saying that you want to, it's just that I'm saying that the way you said it and the scrutiny that came behind it, that's how it looks. I'm not saying he shouldn't have said it. I'm not saying he's wrong.
But if he makes it to a Western Conference Finals on a consistent basis, bro, you can't criticize. The man is doing what he can do to get the team there.
Tyrone, forget the optics. I understand. I understood what you were saying too. It's just you set it up and framed it and was defending it, which is normal Devil's Advocate stuff that we do here, which is fine, right? But think about it on we got Kyle here, we got Curtis here, we got pro wrestling and WWE fans here. In today's times, in the post Attitude Era and still to this day, people love the villain. People love the agitator. So let him be the agitator that's going to bring, or what's Ant-Man going to do next? What's Ant-Man going to do next? There's your person bringing eyes and possible neutral fan eyes to the league that says, hey, I'm the heel in this situation. Come hate me. Even though today's era fan loves the heel and hates the faces, but come hate me. I'm the, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna work. It'll work.
Tyrone, the biggest face of the league was the worst villain you could ever want. People passionately hated this man for what he did. That's right, baby. Michael fucking Jordan was the face of the league, and he was the most hated. People hated this dude, bro.
But guess what?
Hated.
Guess what?
It was a mix. He was a mix.
Guess what, though? Look at the villains, though. Look at it. When people started hating on Kobe and Shaq, right? They was the villains, right? What did they do? They won. When people hated on LeBron, he won. When people hated on Boston making the big three, they hated KG and them for doing that. Paul Pierce, all them. They was the villains. They won. And now you're taking on that villain moniker. You putting that all on your young ass Rich back.
Yeah.
You got it. That's a lot of pressure, bro.
But also,
and Tyrone and in wrestling,
all those superstars had help. LeBron had the big three, KG, Garnett, and Paul Pierce. Like Ant-Man, nobody's winning a chip by themselves, dog.
And I was gonna say in wrestling, in wrestling, most of the best champions are the heels. The best champions are the heels. Kyle said they hated his talent on the court. They don't hate him. People hate LeBron James.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. People hate, and for no reason other than him thinking highly of himself. And many of people who watch basketball for as long as we have said, I think he's better than Jordan.
And he never missteps. You know, you never saw him in a bad light in the press. You know, he always was on, I wouldn't say straight and narrow, but he never had bad press. And all of his boys that he brought on with him, they're all successful. You know, I was going to say this about Ant-Man.
Whole squad paid. Whole squad.
It's the hate. It's the hate. It's the hate of, and people hate success.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. But I was going to say this about Ant-Man, right? I'm sorry. I was going to say this about Ant-Man. Ant-Man, the trajectory that he's going, he's eventually going to be the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? He's eventually going to be the most recognizable. Because I mean, let's call it for what it is. His contemporaries, he doesn't really have much competition. Shea, that's about it. Because you got a gunman in Memphis who we thought was going to be that guy, and now you got a rapist in New Orleans that we thought was going to be that guy. You know, so yeah,
Alleged rapist.
Alleged.
Um,
Sorry,
Alleged
should not say
rapist.
um, so
alleged rapist.
the hate shit is insane to me because I always say I've been on podcasts, I've been on shows, I've been out my whole life. I hate LeBron James. I say it to me all the time. I hate LeBron James. But when people go, why do you hate LeBron James? I hate LeBron James because he lost to the Orlando Magic, and I wanted him to go to the finals to play the Lakers. That's it. It's basketball. I hate the man. I don't know him. I
Yo,
don't know him. I have not had a conversation
Petty,
with him to
Petty
hate him any
Pennington,
other
boy. You need to
reason.
get over that, boy.
So for people in real life saying they hate somebody that they don't even know as a person is
It's
insane to me.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's
And that's
crazy.
the same thing why I was so mad about RG3 saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. And he said, I ain't talking about rivalry. I'm talking about she hates that woman. And I'm like, she don't know her. They ain't friends. They don't hang out.
I bet you. And you know what's funny when I heard about that shit? I bet you they are cool. I bet you they are. I bet you they are friendly and cordial to a point. Because let's keep it real. It was us, the people, the fans, not us here specifically, but more media driven to kick it off because of the coverage. And then the greatness of the two teams that those women were on for their time in college, they gave us a rival feel that we haven't felt like that in
That was
decades, in
legit
a very
Magic
long
and
time.
Bird. That was legit
Right,
Magic and Bird right there. That was
right.
legit Magic and Bird right there.
No, talent wise, it was not what the talent separation between Magic and Bird was not as big as the talent separation between Reese and Caitlin Clark. Now
But they both,
let's not act
I
crazy.
agreed to a point because Magic and Bird could do some things similar. I don't think Magic was able to do what Bird could do. Where Bird would talk shit to your face and tell you, "I'm about to do a one dribble turn around 3-pointer in your face with your left arm up." Magic wasn't doing that. Magic made people look silly. You know what I'm saying?
Larry
Where
Bird,
assist wise, Larry Bird scoring wise, Magic had some numbers, but he wasn't no scorer like Larry Bird.
Larry,
But Larry was a special passer, but he wasn't no Magic Johnson. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, amazing scorer. But Angel Reese in college was defensively great, rebounder. The games were different. It was the racial connotations
big time.
and
No,
and again the hitting the John Cena, pointing to the
Yeah,
ring finger, all that shit.
yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah, yeah. Also, I just want to say real quick, Larry Bird played a whole game shooting left-handed, and still damn near had 30 dogs. Left-handed. He
well,
was
here's
like, "Yo,
my
your guys suck so bad. I'm gonna shoot left-handed against you for the entire game." Nobody's doing that shit today. Nobody's doing that shit, bro. That's that's a level of disrespect I've never heard of before. That's just like, fuck it. You guys suck so bad. I'm gonna pull it back from the left, and I'm gonna still cook y'all.
here's my real problem with what RG3 said. It was like you putting that so we already know about the race narrative, right? We already know about their rivalry and all that stuff. And I can admit Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark on that court,
Yes,
basketball. But in
yes,
real, but when
yeah,
he said it's not
hate our
rivalry hate,
rivals on the court for the
yeah,
moment.
when he said it's not rivalry hate, this is real hate, it leads me to go, why does this black woman hate this white woman? Now you're implying that she may be racist, you're implying that she may be jealous, you're putting other reasons out there other than basketball as to why Angel Reese would hate Caitlin Clark, and that's very that's irresponsible, bro. That's very irresponsible. That's very bad. You're painting the light on Angel Reese that's not that light. And so it's like,
Right.
I
Like
just didn't that
Curtis,
shit.
Curtis bringing up the Larry Bird memories, saying, "Remember that game? He dropped 56 in the Omni, and the Hawks players were cheering him on." You know what I'm saying? Like it, yeah. But I agree with you, Tyrone. It's on court hate because I mean, true rivals, you hate your opponent for the 90 minutes you're on the pitch, or the 120 minute 4 quarters you're on the football field, or the 4 quarters you're on the basketball court. Like, yeah, you hate that person because they are your opponent for the moment. That's a given. And we most even in them 80s and 90s, how many of them niggas was still going to the casino with Jordan after the game, still going
Yo,
to the bar, still hanging you know what I'm saying?
I was
Like they was in the
say
club
that.
doing the booger sugar together, all of that. Like, come on.
I was just about to say that. Listen, when you cross those lines, it's business. You know what I'm saying? And we take that shit
That's
personal over
it.
here.
That's
We
it.
take it. This is my livelihood versus your livelihood right now, and I want to win. That's it. They're going in with that killer mentality. After the game is over, where you eating at? I got a good steakhouse over here. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? They'll talk shit. They'll help each other out. They'll give each other tips after that. Yeah, just don't do that shit against us type shit. You know what I'm saying? But the competitive, like Ray Lewis and Eddie George, when we step on the field, that was war, son. That was war. There was legit hate. There was.
And that's stemming.
You know,
That's Miami, Ohio State hate too, though. Like that's baked in school rivalry.
That shit runs deep. But off the field, these are the two coolest people that they have the mutual respect for each other.
You know what's the funniest thing, right? It just brought me back to that story when Carmelo crashed out and was trying to get to KG, right? And if you listen to Shumpert tell the story, he said that when they got there, when they got to the to where KG was at, and he saw that Melo was crashing out, he said that KG came out and said, "Over a basketball game." After he said that, Melo had to chill out. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, when we on that court, I'm gonna say some shit to you. I hate you, but after that, bro, I'm not trying to go home.
And like you said, on that court, I'm saying, and on that court, it's like, yo, blows can be thrown and shit like that. And then some people do develop real hate for each other on some real deal, like, nah, we gonna take this off the court shit. But on the court, generally, like I said, it's literally my squad versus your squad, whatever the fuck it takes, and that's it.
Dan, nobody was buying Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn beers unless you was a part
Word.
of the
Word.
Nobody
Word.
was buying Dennis Rodman a steak dinner after he whooped your ass on the board for 25 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like it was going to be his own team taking him out at that point. Like there's certain players that get under your skin. Carmelo the same way. He was dirty. He was dirty on the court. You know what I'm saying? And
that man was dirty on and off the court.
Yeah. After you found out what his character was, people didn't fuck with him. But like, there's certain players in the league when they get on in the 96 feet, they're ready to go at each other. Like, yo, it's on tonight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you hear these stories about players. He's like, yo, I thought I had this dude locked down. He cooked me for 36. That shit is fucking insane. Dan, what was the dude that we saw? He said he played against somebody, the basketball player. He said he played against, I don't know if it was Kobe or like Chris Webber, and he said he gave him like 46 or some shit like that.
I forgot. I know it was somebody we spoke to, but I don't remember.
It was during Cigar Week, and we were doing interviews.
Yeah. No, it was it was a dude. I forgot that he did a cigar podcast too. I forgot because I stopped listening to the show a while back, but he also fell out of consistency with doing the show. But dude was he played against a bunch of these cats in college.
Yeah,
he was talking about and he was talking about how Ray Allen cooked them for like 50.
Oh, that was it, Ray Allen. Cooked.
Yeah. And Shumpert said he was heated at Kobe so bad in one game when they were playing the Lakers because he said the third quarter had just ended and Kobe patted him on the ass and said, "Good game, young fella."
Yeah. I saw that way. I saw that. He's like, "What you talking about? We up 12 in the fourth quarter." We have 12, dog. What are you talking
about? That's that little psychological game though to throw it and go off.
Yeah.
Oh, why are you touching my ass?
Gary Payton was on defense. He wasn't. That's why they called him the glove. He's like, "You not getting by me, or I'm picking your pockets tonight." You know what I'm saying? Three or four steals later, You scared to bring the ball up on him, and he's checking you full court, and he up 15 just to fuck with you at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you know what I'm
Which
saying?
everything we talked about now, we'll spin it back to the RG3, what's the name, beef. But everything we talked about that from this to the Ant-Man shit, it's like this is what this is what I've been talking about when it was said people from our generation of sports fandom when we were kids, we want to see this shit again. We want to see the spiciness. We now that we have the technologies and the means that we do, we want to hear this shit. We want to know what's going through the minds of these guys, not just seeing it on the court. Like that instant access to people's lives now, it changed us. It changed us all to a point.
Yeah. You don't think Knicks Indiana is going to be spicy for the next 3 to 5 years? That shit is going to be super spicy, regular season and playoffs, just because of this series right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But this RG3 fucking Ryan Clark thing though, like Ryan Clark calling him out pretty much just on a level of colorism, which optically, Big O, like I understand it. I understand because RG3 has been the guy who's been a perennial white girl dater. And for Ryan Clark's comments, which I'm sure we've all heard, it felt valid. He might have been wrong. RG3 response was a little funny to me. Keep my wife's and my kids' names out your mouth type shit. Like he tried to go there, but it didn't feel real from him.
Because that's
but
Carlton.
I understand. Right. But I understand. I understand where RG3's point was. I mean, I understood what RG3 was trying to do. I understand Ryan Clark's point when it came to talking about the messenger and saying, "Oh, this ain't just game hate. This is real hate." But neither one of them really know them like that to even think that. But for for Ryan, I keep saying RG3 thinking Ryan Clark because of the R's. But for Ryan Clark, to think and say, like, it feels like Ryan Clark said some shit that like a lot of people were thinking out loud after listening to RG3.
Dan, have you ever been in a situation where you hear a conversation or you hear, a conflict or whatever the case is, and you say to yourself, "Hey, you know what, man? For whatever reason, hey, you know what, man? I'm gonna sit this argument out." And I think most of us felt RG3 should have done that. And the fact that he didn't do that, now by you inserting yourself into this argument, now be prepared for the backlash. He is. I mean, I didn't want to just come out and say it, but he is. We all know that. He gives me Jason Williams vibes. But anyways, yeah, that was the conversation you should have sat out, man. You didn't. I didn't feel. No one was asking for your opinion on that.
There's two things that I really didn't like that I think made RG3 real corny in this situation. The one thing is this. The way I took what Ryan Clark was saying was he didn't insult his wife. He just said RG3 has went home to a white woman. And now for me, I know that anything I say in the media, anything I say, do, comments that I make and stuff, it all reflects back on your family, right? So now, if I'm making disparaging comments about a black woman and I go home to a black woman can say, "Hey, this might be how Angel Reese is thinking." A black woman can give me some perspective. A black woman can say, "Hey, honey, don't say that. You painted her in a bad light. That was an irresponsible thing to say," right? But when he's saying it and his white wife is in the background clapping and supporting him saying something that's detrimental and irresponsible about a black woman, also towards a white woman, that shit is distasteful. And all
Get out vibes.
And all Ryan Clark was saying was, you go home and you discuss these things with a white woman who's not going to give you the proper perspective when you're talking about a black woman. That's what he was trying to say.
Not to shoot no bail, but not to hold on, Tyrone, because on that point right there, not to shoot no bail, but I didn't recall seeing RG3's wife be out there celebrating him like when it came to those comments, because he very well could also, and there's many a black men who were with white women who would have been like, motherfucker, you shouldn't have said that shit also.
Yeah, I'm just
You know
saying
what I'm
that.
saying?
In general, we don't think like that. We don't think that his white
But
wife
valid point. No, valid points.
supporting a black woman, and it don't look right. It might not be the case, but the perspective, the narrative looks bad, right? The other thing too, if you want to say, hey, don't mention my wife and play that tough role, he didn't say nothing bad about your wife. He didn't insult her. He didn't say her name. All he did was say, you have a white wife, so you can't go home and have these conversations. Like, your wife ain't gonna give you perspective on what Angel Reese or black women are going through. The other thing too is he said ESPN should be ashamed of what this guy said. Now you're fucking with this man's job and his livelihood. And that's like a bitch move to me. Like, if you got a problem with the man, talk to the man. But to throw ESPN in it when ESPN ain't had nothing to do with it, knowing this man works for ESPN, it's like, come on now, what are you trying to do? You're trying to bring it to their
But
attention.
some
Man,
But
some jobs,
we gotta take into consideration. This is not the first time RG3 said some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? He's been in controversy several times before for saying some wild shit. So you should know what this man's agenda is. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, I don't think Ryan Clark was wrong for saying what he was saying. He could have probably worded it better, and it would have had a different impact. We probably wouldn't be talking about it if he worded it better. But it is what it is. But you know, it just feeds into the media. It's two black dudes arguing over the internet. You know what I'm saying? It's something to grab headlines for.
and the job aspect, Tyrone. There's some jobs that even when you're off the clock, they still take you like you're representing the job.
Yeah.
Like, I could get in trouble. I could get this. My brother wisely advised me to fix something, but I could get suspended for a week for saying something bad about who I work for.
Don't disrespect the shield.
I've worked for companies that said, like, in your signing the contract to take and accept the job, like, once you leave here, you can't say nothing negative about the company, like, and you're legally on the thing. But like you said, with RG3 trying to say, "Oh, ESPN, you should be ashamed of," like, one, it sounds like scorn lover from a former ESPN employee. Two, that, yo, come get your mans.
Yeah,
Yo,
right.
come get your mans. That's what the way you framed it was like. That's what it felt like, on some, yo, come get your mans type shit. And yeah, that's where it's corny. Like, if you're saying, yo, leave my wife and kids out your mouth, leave them out of this, when they weren't even in it in the first place. He was giving a descriptive for people, and in an angle of why this man could be speaking like this. That's all he did, was just give us an angle to talk about. He gave us an angle to speak on, to talk about and deliberate like we're doing. Like you said, though, the optics don't help the cause against him. It don't help the cause against him. But playing that, yo, come get your mans, like Ed said. Ed said, he said, I'm in a job where even off duty, I still represent the office. It's the nature of certain jobs when you take that paycheck and you know what's what. It's yeah, but again, to Ryan Clark's defense, he didn't really say anything that should jeopardize. He didn't do shit that, like, Sage Steele was doing while she was still employed there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't he wasn't doing it on their networks, mind you. He didn't do a Malika Andrews and throw niggas under the bus for alleged crimes that they would be found innocent of, and then never have no answers for. You can't follow it up after that. He didn't do that type of shit. And with the exception Sage Steele, like, finally that bitch is gone. She's the worst right-wing piece of garbage, which we're about to talk about some right-wing shit in a minute. But he didn't do none of that, and he didn't do it on ESPN airwaves. He didn't
And
do
like,
it on ESPN airwaves. Ed said, "I'm mad at both of them for turning a regular '90s basketball play into all of this. They both look like fools." That part I agree with also. Like we said, this is just '90s rival shit between them
I
two.
don't,
It's them adding sauce that ain't even there.
I don't,
You're
but I don't
adding the raisins to the potato. That they added the fucking raisins to the potato salad.
I don't consider
Nobody asked for
I don't
it.
consider Ryan Clark look like a fool. I don't even consider what RG3 did being foolish, except for the fact that he made the one statement that he made that was bad. If he said Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, I can deal with that. Because I say I hate LeBron all the time, and I said it on this show. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, basketball wise. But then he made this firm statement and stood on it. I'm not talking about rivalry. I'm talking about real hate. I know real hate when I see it. That's the point where you went
Yeah,
left, bro.
you
should.
sound stupid.
He,
your
he
your
should
your
know
list
real hate.
got in the way of the sound. Your list got in the way of the
No,
sound. You said the sperm statement.
oh no. Brother,
You did say that. You did say that. And I'm high, so I just let it go. I couldn't react.
the part of it that got me most riled up was when he took the basketball out of it. He took the basketball out of it and said it's not rivalry, it's real hate. And when you say it's
I
real hate,
agree. Yeah,
and you saying a black woman hates a white woman, like in real life, dude.
yeah. And
I
that's
mean,
where that's where he deserved all the smoke. Curse. Hey, yo, pulse.
my bad. No pause. I know what I
Nah,
said.
nah. But yeah, but no pause. No pause leads us into this last thing. Uh, there's been a pause slash eradication for a lot of people's sentences, and we had a couple big names get pardoned this past week. Um, NBA young boy,
Wow.
the Chrisley guy, the Chrisley family, him and his wife, and Larry Hoover.
No,
Larry
Larry Hoover's
Hoover.
sentence was commuted. He wasn't pardoned.
Well, commuted is the sentence is done, unless
Yeah,
I think he still has state charges against him that may
I
still keep
forgot,
him
but
in.
commuted is not the same as being pardoned.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go and we're gonna as we talk about this, I'm gonna give y'all the official pardon attorney's website as I looked up before we was and I went this website showed everybody Trump pardoned from when he took office again. And let's look at some of these names for freaking what they've done in some of these cases. Like we got one guy, Kevin Basden, shoplifting, second degree theft, bail reform act, and second degree theft. We
Oh, look
had
at
a
that. Well,
lot of
his
these people.
imprisonment was suspended. Supervised release.
Like this is the one that the right wingers have been
See,
tripping
commuted
about the
5 years.
most.
Supervised release, $80,000 fine.
Larry Hoover, narcotics conspiracy, continuing criminal enterprise, use of persons under 18, distribution of cocaine, use of communication facilities in committing the narcotics conspiracy, distribution of cocaine, use use of a firearm in the commission of a drug trafficking crime. The right wingers were flipping out about this one because you're letting the criminal, you're letting the man who started the gangster disciples, I believe it was the gangster disciples. Don't if I got it wrong, my bad, Chicago. But you let this man out and his drug crimes and drug criminals, things like that.
Yo, there was a
And
dude
when I
used to
was
pass.
reading through,
A felon for a firearm. He did 2 years in jail. I didn't see the name. He pardoned that dude.
but a lot of them, the names as part of them, it's a lot of business criminals like this guy James Kernan, knowingly and willingly permitted a convicted felon to be engaged in business of insurance. Marlene Mary Kernan, so I guess their family, permitting a convicted felon to engage in business insurance. Um, Marianne Morgan, conspiracy to defraud the United States, wire fraud, transfer of funds taken by fraud, money laundering, making false statements on income tax refunds, returns. Uh,
Very
John
early
Rowland,
theft of government
conspiracy to
property.
defraud the U.S., excuse me, falsification of records in federal investigation. Charles Overton Scott conspiracy to commit securities fraud. Alexander Stenfeld, bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds like theft of government property, Earl Lamont Smith, conspiracy to distribute and possess intent with distribution of cocaine. So this guy's pretty much let people back on the streets in a way. Money criminals, a lot of financial criminals, and people who keep the party going by way of
Then, then he just pardoned a dude who was committing securities fraud because his mother spent $1 million to speak to Trump, and after that he was pardoned.
So wow.
Listen,
yeah.
Trump wants to pardon his people. He wants to pardon the fight. He's a financial criminal. Like, let's not get it fucked up. Trump is a financial criminal, right? So he wants to pardon his people, right? But then he can't just pardon his people because then we're gonna go, oh, all the pardons are for Trump's people. So he pardons a couple of our people, and not, look, the right wings want to look at Larry Hoover and all that shit and think, but Trump don't understand the optics. Trump only understands what he sees and what he thinks about us. You see what I'm saying? He only understands what he thinks about black people. So to him, Larry Hoover is one of our heroes. Now, the natural black people like us, real sensible black people, Larry Hoover is a criminal, drug wars, he's led to murders, all kinds of shit. He's not a hero. You know what I mean? But Trump knows we rap about him. Trump knows they do shows like BFF. Trump knows, oh, black people glorify that. So for Trump,
Kanye West was making the push for Larry Hoover,
but
and Kanye is one of his guys. So
either way, though, for Trump, it looks like, oh, I'm giving y'all, I'm parting one of you blacks, one of
Let
you
me
black
ask you a
heroes,
question.
you know.
Let me ask you a question. With all these pardons, with all these pardons, right? And some of these people got really fucked up by these people that are getting pardoned. You think you're gonna see more Luigi's out there?
not yet.
No, but and I
You'll
and
see.
I really wanted to talk about the Chrisleys because I'm like, for what did you pardon these people for? The Chrisleys literally defrauded banks on fake loans for millions and millions of dollars, and they defrauded the people because they went and got a television show and made millions of dollars based on them being rich socialites when they were stealing all of that money. They were evading taxes, stealing all that money. They got a TV show. They made millions of dollars off of it. The husband got sentenced to 12 years, which he really should have got more than that. The wife only got 7. And they were getting out. They were already getting out early for good behavior in prison. So why do they deserve the right to be pardoned and get out? It was like,
because they greased the wheels.
And a TV star, right? A TV star backed his people, as you said. The TV star backed his TV star friends.
it's obvious though.
And
It's
like
like,
Curtis said, and they probably about to get a new show now.
He's definitely going to be back on TV, no doubt. They were good. He was a good television personality. He's going to find a way back on TV, even if he don't get the reality show. He's going to get a documentary. They're going to get a chance to tell their story, and they're going to make millions of more fucking dollars on Netflix or Paramount Prime or whoever picks that fucking thing up, man. And it's disgusting. It's blatant.
I was gonna say he's either gonna be on Bravo or Netflix, man.
And I don't see the reason.
But again, the reason it is he's got to help his celebrity friends. Their daughter made the cry to him.
Yep,
they supported him. All he's doing is just, hey, you support me, I got you. Yep. If you got this.
Did you see what I just sent you in the group chat about the Eagles player and Ivanka Trump?
Nah. While you talk, I'm gonna look that up.
So this player, after he visited the White
In
House,
which group chat?
our group
Instagram?
chat, the starting five group chat.
Instagram.
Yeah. So he was at the White House. He's like, damn, Ivana's really fine in person. And then he tweeted out, Ivana is my type of woman. So Ivana, with her 3 kids, left a note in his locker. Sorry, we missed you today. Looking forward to seeing you. And they've been going back and forth with this for like a minute now. But I heard the comments are insane on each person's page. Like, I guess they don't agree with this shit, but once a Trump, always a Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, Daddy ain't the only one stepping out. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. I do like her. I ain't gonna lie. I do like her. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. But yeah, man, that's it. If you get involved with them Trumps, you already know. If you get involved with a Trump, man, you on a slippery slope. You automatically
they'll kick you to the curb in a heartbeat, though.
Yeah, you on a slippery slope, bro. So I wouldn't maybe he shouldn't have entertained that. You know, he shouldn't have said it. But I ain't mad at him. I'm just saying.
You man trying to get in and get out. So
I was about to say, man, the key is, man, to jump off the ride before you get kicked off the ride, man.
That's like being with a Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Get in and get out. I was here. And that's all you need to say, bro.
Yo, you ever think about this, though? Was Lamar Odom a crackhead before Chloe? Because I ain't never heard about my man being on crack before Chloe.
No, he was not.
So
he was not. She brought him to a different party, dogs. She brought him to a different party.
Yeah, but some people like that, though, they had some vices that led them down the path. Let's just say,
you
just don't jump into crack, Dan. You just don't jump into crack.
But go ahead. Oh, after you said that, we're gonna answer this question, and then we're gonna get out of here.
I was gonna say, man, I was a grown ass man, before I realized that Whitney might have introduced Bobby Brown to coke instead of the other way around.
Oh yeah.
Now, Kurt asks, do y'all think he will pardon Diddy?
That's the $1 million question.
He already spoke on it, though. They asked him this question.
Answer the $1 million question.
He said he don't know. He got to look at the facts. He got to look at the facts of the case. That's what he said. This motherfucker don't look at no facts, but he's gonna look at the facts of that case.
Look at the facts.
All of a sudden, Taco can read.
The $1 million question is not if he's going to pardon Diddy, because the $1 million question is Diddy even going to prison? You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, you got to go to prison and get sentenced before you can be pardoned. And I'm not too confident that Diddy's even going to prison with the way this trial's going. This shit is ridiculous.
Wow.
Dude,
you think he's gonna walk out?
Yeah. Here's what the same thing I was explaining to Dan, right? Is the crimes that they're talking about in the trial are not matching the charges that they have on.
So they're just trying to paint him in a bad light to
they got racketeering and RICO and all of that, but the crimes that he's committing is like assault, kidnapping, stuff like that. He's not being charged with any of that shit. He's being charged.
Doesn't kidnapping fall under RICO?
No, kidnapping doesn't fall. Kidnapping won't fall under RICO unless it's kidnapping, like an organized crime kidnapping. If you just regularly kidnap somebody off the street, that's not RICO.
This was a regular kidnapping. This wasn't done under Bad Boy.
So they're saying that listen, I told Dan this too. I'm saying that Puffy was kind of smart, because they're saying they're trying to get him on RICO charges for his criminal organization, right? But all of the people that are testifying are the victims. But
something happened to them personally.
Yeah, but they did all of the shit. They're like, where did he get the drugs? He got the drugs from this dude who was a victim, testifying as a victim. How did he get the girls? Oh, his assistant called the girls. But she testifying as a victim. So everybody who was part of his criminal organization are victims who are testifying for the prosecution. So where's the RICO? You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
I just think they're trying to destroy the man. But as far as like what they're charging him with, I don't think they got enough. Oh, Dan had to reset.
Dan's on his phone now.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying. Like the charges are not fitting the crime. You know how it's like, you know how sometimes when somebody murders somebody, right? And
Right,
they charge them with first degree murder,
right,
but it's really more like involuntary manslaughter or something like that. So it's
right.
like the charges is not fitting the crime. So he can get off on first degree because he wasn't intentionally trying to kill somebody. I think that's what they're doing to Diddy, man. I think they're trying because he's getting charged with RICO, which is running like a criminal organization. But everybody that helped him is on the victims list, so he has no co-defendants. And everybody that helped him is saying like, we weren't part of no criminal organization. We were scared of this man, so we was just doing what he wanted us to do.
Right, right.
I don't I don't know. Like I said, because we got tons more when it comes to that case. We still got a lot more to see and to do to hear about to see if a lot of these things fly. But you know, the coercion, the having a you in some respects you could say having mind control over a person. Like a lot of these things, it feels like they're coming to light now within this case. And all I can say is we'll see. Like I said, I've been paying attention, but I've been paying attention in like a ancillary type of. I'm hearing it through like when podcasts talk about it, you know, news pop up reports like that. Like I'm not following this shit like others are following it. Like there's people like this. I was listening to Godfrey's podcast earlier. I mean, we're watching it because they haven't been uploading this show for audio in a minute. But there's a guy who was on the show and he's been going to the cases, fucking paying somebody. He said he's paying this guy $250 a day to be a line sitter for him because he said like only a certain amount of people, like the regular non-press, like can get in. So he's
Hmm.
been paying somebody to get in, and I've been listening to people like that who've been inside talking about this shit more than actually watching the case. And right now, it's just it to me. It just feels like I don't know if they're gonna land anything on him, but there's still like another 4 or 5 weeks left to this case. So there's probably still a lot to build to show the criminal element of this whole thing.
I, I ain't gonna lie, and I might be ashamed of myself to admit this. I wasn't following the case until I heard Cassie say that them two dudes was drowning her with PP. I don't know why, but that just got me. That was like, whoa, I gotta hear some more. I gotta know what. When she said that, I was like, oh man, I need to know what they talking about in that courtroom.
That's what did it for you, huh? That's what
Yeah,
did it for you.
I,
Damn,
that
man.
I don't know. That
Damn, man.
sparked my interest. Not to say I'm not like I'm not. It's not a kink or nothing, but I was just like,
Oh,
whoa, they
it's definitely a
talking
kink,
about.
Hey, man. Hey,
it's
man. You're going
definitely a
too far.
kink.
You're going
Yeah,
too far.
yo,
Too much information, dogs.
I just
This
Could
dude
have stopped
said
there.
he said haters want to hate, lovers want to love. I don't even want none of the above. I want to piss on you,
hey,
piss on you. Yeah, that's
no,
what Tyrone just said.
no. What I'm saying
Drip,
is,
drip, drip.
when I heard that, I was just like, that's how it's going down. Like this is what they saying in this courtroom. So it just made me go. That's when I started following because it's like, oh no, if she talking like that, I can only imagine what they saying in there. And I don't know, it sparked my interest. The other thing that I found was real funny is Kid Cudi testified that Puffy broke in his house and fucked and gave his dog drugs and locked his dog in the bathroom, cut his porch
And
open.
opened all his Hanukkah gifts and
Yeah,
all that shit.
and open all his Hanukkah gifts, cut his porch open and dropped the Molotov cocktail inside of it. And then he said, when he had the meeting with Puff afterwards, Puff said, you want to date her, it's cool, and tried to walk away. And he was like, well, what about my dog and my car and all my other shit? And Puff just basically was like, what car? What dog? Like, like what are you talking about? Like, he
Yeah,
didn't give a
when I heard that part on the same show, they was they said the dude said in court that Puff was standing in his looking out his window at his house in L.A. on some supervillain shit. and didn't turn his back to talk to him. This is
Dan,
crazy.
put up what Ed said about Lisper.
Oh, let me try. Let me try. I'm on the phone now. When he said, "I think
No,
you
no,
have
the
to
next
cross
one.
state lines," or the
No,
one
no,
before
the
that.
next one. No, after that.
What he said? Oh, the list ran to both. And on that note, Big O, you know what to do.
Oh man, yo, great show, man. Always good chopping it up with y'all, man. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to my boy Jamal who ain't here. Shout out to you guys. Um, yeah, man. God, man. I want to say I'm looking forward to football. I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to basketball season in October, man. Cause it ain't. I don't know about them Giants either. But god damn, man, great show though, man. Great show, man. You know what I'm saying? Once again, shout out to the listeners, man. Pass it off to my boy TJ.
Yeah, shout out to the listeners today. This was a dope show. It's baseball season though. I'm just watching the Yankees getting slaughtered by LA the last 2 nights.
Yeah, man, that was bad
It's
too.
not good. But yeah, great show, good times. I can't wait to get you guys on a basketball court. That'll be fun. So uh
Well, we
that's all
still
I
got
gotta
to do
say.
this old man Olympics. We still got to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this
yeah,
shit.
yeah. The old man Olympics is definitely gotta happen. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm out next week. I'm in Vegas for work. And I'll see you guys when I come back. What's up, Ty?
Yeah, good show. I'm looking forward to football season. I'm looking forward to basketball season. I'm looking forward to all of it. I'm not looking forward to getting on the court in real life because I talk about Angel Reese, but I play and look just like him.
You look, you look nothing like Angel Reese. Cut that shit.
What you trying to say, man? Anyway, but good show. But I do want to say this, right? I really gotta be I really gotta be better with myself because I realize now that if I go to prison, there ain't no way none of you is gonna help me get a Trump pardon. So I'm definitely not gonna I'm definitely watching myself and mind my business a little more because I see I don't got no support in that area.
Well,
So,
I don't.
so
I think
definitely
that's
have to be here
because
next week.
I think that's because none of us want to wear lipstick, let alone orange lipstick. That's first and foremost. But once again, big up our sponsor, Hooks Rub. 20% off your order using the code STARTING5. And once again, thank you to our affiliate W. 10% off your order using the code STARTING5. Yeah, man, we got some work to do. We got some shit to do. Number one, I gotta thank myself for fucking realizing all of these weeks putting it on Facebook. StreamYard for some reason took away. Well, no, it's a new way you got to connect to where it doesn't go to the group. It goes to the show goes to my main page. Try to share it to the group. I couldn't do it on the phone. But I guess I'll do that on the laptop next week. But I didn't realize that the privacy setting was on me only on the show, which was a mistake. Henceforth, why we couldn't get more people viewing. So I fixed that. We had more viewers today. We got bunch of likes and stuff on the feed. So thank you everybody for checking us out. And yeah, man, it's don't put yourself in position to have Taco have to pardon you, and that's that. Peace.
Yes, sir.